This is the specimen that we are going to test, and the two ends, as we can see, are rigid, and the central part is going to be deflected under torsion. The torsion force is a torque. One end is kept fixed, other end is turned, and this is the length that it is twisted. And we also need the diameter. During this practical, we are going to rotate this by a certain amount and determine the torque or the torsion that we apply to make it move. The governing equation relates the angle of movement to the torque, and all the others in that equation are constant values. So, therefore, we can determine the angle of movement which is measured, and also we can determine the torque and relate the torque to the angle of movement. We call it angle of twist. The governing equation is a simple relationship between the angle of twist and the applied torque. The other constants in the equation are the diameter, which gives the polar moment of inertia, the length, and the shear modulus, which is a constant for the material. A length can be measured, diameter can be measured. Therefore, by plotting a graph of torque versus angle of rotation, and by determining the gradient, we can determine the unknown constant, which is the shear modulus. And having found the shear modulus, we can relate that to the Young's modulus by a simple equation, and that equation involves Poisson's ratio as well. Alex is going to help me with this practical. He is a past student and he has done this before. This is the specimen that we are going to test, and we keep one end fixed and we turn the other end. To start with, we need to get the sizes, dimensions, diameter and the length. Only this part is subjected to twisting because this is two ends which is supposed to be fixed or rigid. It's a special purpose test machine for testing torsion. This end is fixed and the other end is turned. This end is turned. In order to keep this end fixed, we make use of the spirit level. The spirit level is sitting on the cross arm, which is connected to the chuck or the fixed end. And when this turns, this also support cross arm also turns, and therefore, if there is any deviation, spirit level changes. By taking it back to the original level, we make sure that there is no change in the fixed side. Certain rotation to this one, in this case half a degree, this is the original position. When we turn this hand wheel, we can apply a rotation to the right hand side, to the side that we can turn. We apply a half a degree rotation, and it has approximately turned by half a degree, but what happens is that on the left hand side also slightly moves because of the setup here, and then we make sure that we take the bubble back into the original position by applying a load here. This is the spring balance device which applies a load at an eccentricity, so that it applies a twisting moment to take it back to the original position. So, what I am doing here is applying a load and therefore a twisting moment, so that this comes back to the original position. And we see that the spirit level is now in the balance position. That means the chuck has, or at least this side has not moved. in relation to the previous position. We are ready to take readings because we have applied a load displacement here, which is 0.5 degrees. We can measure the corresponding torque using this device. This basically calibrated in terms of torque or the torsion. This has to be converted to Newton meters using a factor. And having done that, maybe you can help me.
All right, yes.
Yeah, you can increase the angle.
Now
Alex,
yep.
you can go to 1.
Now we go to increase the rotation to 1.0 and say the spirit level is tilted. We are going to bring it back to the central location by adjusting this spring balance. Now see the bubble is moving slowly. Okay, up to this point the bubble is centrally located. That means this end is fixed and it's back to the original position. Now the torque is 20, it's near to 20. So our next step is increase the rotation again to 1.5.
This reading has to be multiplied by a factor to convert that into Newton meters. That way we can take few more readings for various angle of rotation and the required torque applied on the specimen. And that is what we need to plot a graph and calculate the material properties as I mentioned at the beginning of the practical.